Assalamualaikum everyone. Hello, I hope you're all well. I'm looking a little bit different, as you guys can tell. I'm wearing a hijab, and for those of you who don't know, I recently reverted to Islam. So I'm just going to get into it and tell you guys my little revert story. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet, because if not, we'll probably be talking into next year. So let's go. You guys a little bit of background on me and my family. I'm obviously white British. I was born and raised in England, Newcastle. Dad is technically Catholic. My mum is Protestant. My dad is an atheist. He's only Catholic by the fact that he was baptised. He doesn't believe, he doesn't practice, nothing like that. My mum, on the other hand, still doesn't practice, but I do believe that she believes there is a higher being and something out there. I think she just doesn't know what she believes, but she believes, I think she believes there's something out there. Because of my dad, you know, being an atheist, and my mum probably not knowing what she believed, religion in my house wasn't really spoke of. It was something that just wasn't mentioned. No one really was religious in my family. No one, you know, mentioned God or anything like that. However, I went to a Catholic primary school and a Catholic secondary school. I went to those schools because they were literally a stone throw away from my house. They were a 5-minute walk, and it was a case of like, this is the easiest place to put Laura, put her in there. So it wasn't even to do with religion or anything like that. It was generally just because it was close. In fact, my dad didn't even know my secondary school was a Catholic school until I had like nearly left. And I think everything that I learned from Christianity, I learned in school, because like I said, it wasn't spoken in my house, so I didn't ask questions in my house. In primary school, you know, being a kid, you take everything in, you're a little sponge. I believed everything, you know, and because I lived, I don't want to say a sheltered life, but it kind of was when it came to religion. I generally thought the only religion there is Christianity. That's all I knew. That was all I'd been taught, so of course I'm going to believe it. When I went to secondary school, although it was still a Catholic school, there was a lot more diversity. We had, you know, people of all different races and all different religions. That's when I met my first Muslim friends. Like, it was just like, what? Like, someone believes in something different? What the heck? Like, I didn't get it. So I didn't really, you know, ask a lot of questions and stuff, because I wasn't really, if I'm honest, interested in Islam. I was just like, okay, they believe something else, whatever. So at that point, all I thought was different is that they believed in Allah and we believed in God. Obviously now, you know, I know that it's one person, it's Allah, but at that point I kind of believed that they believed a different God. I don't know, it was just, you know, they were using a different name. I just assumed it was a different God. They believed something completely different to us. We had RA lessons in secondary school, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, we didn't learn jack. We would go in, they would stick on a film that had nothing to do with religion, by the way, and just be like, oh, get on with it. They had like the posters on the wall. It was predominantly Catholic, but they would have, you know, little tiny posters of every other religion on the wall, you know, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hindi and stuff like that. So everything I had been taught in primary school, I believed. So when I came to secondary school and I learned that these people believed in something else, I was like, well, no, obviously what they've been taught is wrong. Like, of course, what they've been taught is wrong, because what I've been taught is right. And so I didn't really have an interest in learning about Islam or any religion for that matter, because I was just like, oh, whatever is wrong, I know what's right, kind of thing. Now, the older I got, I was still not religious, because in my family, no one was. But I did believe there was a God, and I believed in, you know, Jesus and everything like that. That's all I believed in. But I started to question it a bit. Now, I'm not going to pinpoint which things I didn't believe, because I don't want to start a big huge religious debate. There was certain things in Christianity that I would ask and no one could give me an answer. So I did start to become really confused and really like, well, if this is right, why can't anyone answer my questions? Why is no one, you know, telling me the answers? And I just became really confused by it, and I found that, you know, the Bible kind of contradicted itself a few times, and I found like, you know, especially when I went to secondary school, we were doing science and stuff, you know, science and then, you know, the Bible and Christianity, it didn't match, it didn't go together, you know. The Bible would say one thing, but then we would be getting taught another thing in our science lesson that completely contradicted what we had just heard. So at this point, I kind of started steering away from Christianity. I don't know what I believe, and especially the fact that I just learned there's all these other religions. I was like, well, if I don't believe in this, then is this the truth? And I just kept like questioning myself and questioning the Bible and everything I had been taught. I started questioning. So at this point, I completely disregarded religion. I still believed there was a God, but I didn't know what to believe. So I kind of went a little bit off the rails. I got new friends, started drinking and going to parties and just, you know, being a bit of a rebel. I need to point out that I didn't like drinking. I didn't like parties. In fact, I hated it. The taste of alcohol to me is absolutely disgusting. It's revolting. I don't know why I did it. Actually, I do know why I did it. I did it just to feel accepted and fit in. You know, all my friends were going out and getting drunk and doing all these things. You know, I felt like I was the weirdo that didn't want to do it. So I kind of forced myself into those situations. I would like go out and party and drink and do all this stuff because I felt like it was normal, and I felt like I was the abnormal one that didn't want to do it. Because I did. I went out and I partied and I drank and I did all this stuff that I probably shouldn't have done, and looking back I'm like, why on earth did you do that, Laura? And then at one point of one day I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore, and I completely stopped drinking. I stopped going out, I stopped partying, because I was like, I'm not enjoying this. And you know, I kind of feel like, looking back now, I definitely feel like that was with the guidance and with the help of Allah. So I do thank Allah for taking me out of that situation and, you know, guiding me on the path, because I feel like that was my first, and it was so out of the blue. It was just like one day, I'm not drinking anymore, I'm not partying anymore. I made a lot of Muslim friends in my, you know, time. I obviously made Muslim friends in secondary school, and you know how it is, you know, people add you on Facebook, their friends add you on Facebook, and then came on Instagram and everyone's all following each other. So I ended up with a lot of Muslims that I followed and they followed me. I became interested in Islam and what it was about, and you know, I just, from what I could see, it was beautiful. Now the real interest in Islam came for me in a form of negative media, because I seen all this negativity online, you know, ISIS and just all this bad stuff, and you know, portraying themselves as Muslim and, you know, saying they represented Islam. And I was just like, you know, I was sat back like, what? Because I had all these Muslim friends, and I was thinking to myself, well, how can this possibly be true? Like, I have all these Muslim friends, they are the nicest people I've ever met. They wouldn't hurt a fly, you know. They're shouting all online like, oh, you know, kill everyone that isn't a Muslim. And I was like, but I'm friends with all these Muslims and I'm not a Muslim, and they're not trying to kill me. They've welcomed me with open arms. Like what's this all about? So that sparked an initial interest to research and learn about Islam. So, you know, I had a woman that used to come into work a lot. She was a customer that came into where I worked. And, you know, I told her that I was interested in Islam, learning about Islam. She actually, the next time I told her this, she came in with a little book which was the basic principles of Islam, and she bought me a little Quran. Bet to learn about Islam is going to be to read the Quran. That's what I did. I read the Quran, and I was pleasantly surprised, you know. I was blown away, because like I said, going back to primary school, you know, religion and science didn't add up. I found in the Quran it did, you know. Something that I would have asked, you know, in something that I would have asked in school regarding, you know, religion and science that they couldn't answer, the Quran answered. And at this point I was like, this makes more sense. This makes more sense to me. This is something that I actually am starting to believe. So I kept learning about it, and I kept, you know, reading up on it. A lot of my friends obviously every year took part in Ramadan. I found really interesting. I told myself I'm going to take part in Ramadan this year, because I had started to believe it. You know, obviously I couldn't pray and stuff like that, but I wanted to fast. So I started fasting during Ramadan. You know, it was hard at first, but with the help of Allah and with the guidance of Allah, I'd done it, alhamdulillah. So I was happy about that. Now during Ramadan, I just knew, like, Islam is for me, and I'm feeling emotional. So I just knew that Islam was for me and that I wanted to be a Muslim. Now, I did not keep this a secret from my family at all. My family were fully aware that I was fasting. They were fully aware that I now wanted to revert, and they were fully behind me. Alhamdulillah. They are the most supportive family of all, and you know, I thank Allah for putting me in this family, this, you know, open-minded, amazing family that are so accepting. So during Ramadan, I met an amazing woman. She's actually became one of my really close friends now, if not like one of my best friends. And she was like, my mum wants to know if you'd like to come to my house for Eid. Now I was like astounded, because a lot of reverts will know what I mean when I just expected to spend my first Eid by myself. You know, we don't have, you know, we don't have a Muslim family to, you know, go and spend Eid with. So I was expecting to spend Eid, you know, either at work or just sat in the house by myself, stuff in my face after a month of fasting. But she didn't. She invited me to her house, and I was so happy about that. And you know, I was so grateful, and I love her family so much, because they are so accepting, and they're just, they have my heart. I love them so much. I thank Allah for putting them in my life, because they're amazing. Because I had now decided, like, I definitely want to revert, I messaged a local mosque, and I was like, do you guys have any classes for reverts, you know, to teach them how to do things? And they put me in touch with another place that was for reverts and helped Muslim reverts. So, you know, I messaged them and I told them, you know, I haven't actually reverted yet, but could you help me to do any classes? And the first thing that they asked me was why I was delaying my Shahada. Now, I didn't have an answer for that. I kind of felt like I wasn't good enough because I couldn't pray, I wasn't perfect, and, you know, I did things wrong. And now looking back, I'm like, Dora, you're so stupid. But so I told them, you know, this is why. And they messaged me and they're just like, but sister, you know, you're already fasting, which is the third pillar of Islam. Your first pillar of Islam is taking your Shahada. So I was like, well, they kind of got a point here. I was just like, but how can I be a Muslim? I don't know how to pray. I'm not good enough. And they were like, you know, your sins are wiped as soon as you take your Shahada. You know, we will mentor you. You know, no Muslim knows exactly how to do their 5 prayers a day as soon as they're born. Like, it's something that comes in the process. You learn about it. So I was like, yeah, why am I delaying my Shahada? Why don't I just do it? You know, I don't know if I'm going to live till the end of today. I don't know if, you know, when Allah is going to take me. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Now they sent me, what am I doing? I'm trying to find out. There it is. I messaged my friend, the one that had invited me to her house for Eid and iftar and stuff, and I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? I really want to take my Shahada, like, please, like, help me. And then she was just like, what, like, so soon? Because it had literally went from the end of next year to the end of the month to like tomorrow. And she was like, yes, I'm free tomorrow. So I went to her house the next day to get all ready, you know, to go take my Shahada at the mosque, and I was so nervous. I was excited, but I was nervous, and I was just like, oh my god, like, I'm actually doing this. So we went to the mosque that was near her house. Like, there was shoes there and stuff, but we couldn't see anyone in the mosque, so we were just stood there like, where is everyone? Like, what's going on? But anyways, a guy eventually came downstairs and we were like, assalamu alaikum, like, is the imam in? And the imam was actually in a class. So they're like, oh, you can go upstairs and sit with the sisters. So we were like, oh, okay. Didn't realise that we were going to get put in the class. We just thought, oh, we could just go and like chill with the sisters. No. We all had to sit in this Quran class, and then they were learning, you know, Arabic and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, you feel like all eyes on you. And I thought, oh, this is going to be okay. Once it's over, the imam will take me into another room. We'll do my shahada. I'll be all good. Now at the end of the class, the imam was like, we have a sister here that's now going to take a shahada. And at this point I was like, oh my god, he's going to make me do this in front of the whole class. Oh my god, oh my god. And it was just like I generally thought I was going to like pass out. But the imam got his chair, put it in front of me. He was just like, assalamu alaikum. At this point I didn't know how to say this, so I was just like, hi. And he was just like, are you okay? And I was just like I was so nervous. But the thing is, when I started taking my shahada, once I started doing it, I felt like it was just literally me, the imam, and Allah. Like, I couldn't even, you know, the people around me were not bothering me. It was as if they weren't there. And I was taking my shahada, and you know, I was fine. I can feel my eyes welling up, and I can feel my eyes welling up now as well. And it was as soon as the imam said, mashallah, you are now Muslim, like, I'm literally gonna cry. I literally, oh my god, burst into tears. Like, I literally, like, it was happy tears, of course. I'm trying not to cry, but I did. I cried like a baby. All the sisters, you know, came and gave me hugs and stuff, and it was an emotional time. And I think I cried so much because I was just like, I finally found my place. I found my family. I feel so at home, and I cried. After I took my shahada, I just went back to my friend's house and we just had iftar at her house and stuff. So yeah, I took my shahada and I officially reverted to Islam on the 22nd of June 2016 during Ramadan, and I've never been happier. You know, I cannot thank my friend and her family enough. I cannot thank my other friends enough. I cannot thank my family enough, and I cannot thank you enough, because I have received so many supportive messages, you know, comments. It's just unbelievable how much support I've received during this. Alhamdulillah, that, you know, I'm lost for words. And most importantly, you know, thank Allah for bringing me on this journey, for, you know, inviting me to Islam. You guys are now part of this beautiful journey with me, and I just cannot wait to, you know, learn more and experience more. So far it's been, you know, nothing but joyful, and, you know, it's came with ease, alhamdulillah. And I just cannot wait to continue this and, you know, continue my new life with this religion and meet so many new people. And I'm just thankful for that, and I'm just going to keep saying thank you every day. So yeah, the 22nd of June 2016 is definitely going to be a fixed memory for me. It's going to be a day I never forget, alhamdulillah. And yeah, so I just want to thank you guys again for watching, and I hope I didn't bore you too much. So yeah, and until next time, I'll speak to you guys later. Bye!